Record. Okay, so coming back to the knowledge builder. So knowledge builder is something that you saw. You have validation and regex, which will be shown to you in some time. You have multilingual support. So what is multilingual support is today I can create a chatbot which will, let's say, support these languages. It can support a few more. Right now it is only showing these, but you can build a lot more languages. They have at least 30 languages is basically what they support the last time I saw. So, as long as I think there are Indian languages itself, I think there are 5 to 6 Indian languages which they are already supporting. So you can probably take a look at them as well. Apart from that, built-in analytics, what is built-in analytics is, let's say I go to this analytics screen. So let me see, I think this was sometime. Okay, so they don't allow me to select something from here. Okay, anyways, basically what happens here is, let me actually show you something. No, none of these are. Okay, so basically what this will allow us to do is you can see all the tracking data over here from the past month, and you can easily understand what the user has asked, what the user has entered, and so on and so forth. And you can see how the flow goes. So probably once we start testing it out or something, you will see that data over here. So that is something that they already provide. Then you have sentiment analysis, which is mostly a feature that you will not be directly able to see from here. But let's say if you go here, you have this whole list of settings where you have an option to select, where did that go? Yeah, so you have sentiment analysis. You just need to enable this, and on each of the queries that a user types, you will be able to understand what are the user sentiments. Is the response positive, negative, neutral, and so on. And then automatic spelling corrections are available in this. Let me see if that feature is enabled in this. Yeah, no, not this one. Yeah. So basically what happens is, let's say in a conversation, if you're typing a wrong word, if your spelling is wrong, basically it will automatically correct it in the backend, so that it doesn't matter if the spelling is right or wrong. It has understood that what you have meant, right? So that is also captured in this. Create a serverless chatbot service made easy. Uh, I'll come to this. Automated phone service made easy. Now, what does that mean is actually interesting. So let me just go to, okay. Yeah, so if you see here, phone gateway, basically, if I set this up today, you don't even need a website or anything. I just have to call a phone number, and the chatbot will start interacting. So today, the way IVR works is that you receive those automated phone calls, and you click on 1 2 3 4, right? So you can build that as a chatbot today easily, without any problems. And Dialogflow allows you to do that. The only catch with them is they allow in limited states. So that is only, I mean, correctly, they only allow in United States, and they provide their own phone numbers. So only after that, basically, you can give a call today to them, and sorry, give a call to this number, and the chatbot will start responding accordingly. So you have, yeah, so if you see here, they are providing these few. If you select any one of them, you just have to call the number, and the chatbot flow will start working accordingly. So this is basically the phone call feature which I was talking about, IVR service. So now, just to step back a bit about the serverless architecture. So basically, what is serverless is, this is going to be important for all of you. Um, Today, if I build a website, I need to put it in a server so that it can start running. and you need a dedicated server for this to work. But the way chatbot works is it doesn't require a server in the backend. Let's say even if I have to write a backend logic, it doesn't require a server. It just needs one page script. You just write a script of code, and it acts like a webhook, you can say. So, some of the tech people will understand, but it's like a single page script that you write, and you just deploy it in, let's say, something known as Firebase Functions, AWS Lambda, and so on and so forth. So I'll recommend, I'm adding this to you guys in the chat. Uh, so I want all the tech guys or girls to please go ahead and look at this. So please go through these things, because these two will add value to your projects, if not now, on a long run. Because there are some tasks that you can do today without, wasting space in a server, or without putting that in a server. Serverless architecture actually helps you with uh, easing up cost, easing up processing time, and so on and so forth. So, just go ahead and take a look at that. So now, just coming to the next step, I'll move quickly here to the concepts, because now to work with chatbots, you need to understand what are intents and entities. So I'll just be covering those two in these two slides, and mostly I'll just jump to some of the demos, right? So concept you need to know are intents, entities, and context. So the first and foremost is intent. So for example, if you take the meeting that we are having, what is the meeting? It is a knowledge sharing session. So that is the intent, meaning sharing knowledge. So that is your intent. What does the entity become? Date and time slot of the event, right? So that is nothing but your entities. So date again is a variable parameter, that is an entity. Time is a variable parameter, that is an entity. Who are going to attend is another parameter, so that is again a variable. So that also becomes an entity. So if you take an example like this, what I'm showing on the screen, what's the forecast? What is the weather like right now? What's the temperature going to be tomorrow in Seattle? So forecast, all of them are talking about weather reports. All of them are talking about basic forecast. So forecast is your intent. And what are you extracting from all of them, right? So weather, temperature, and forecast. That is one. Second is right now, tomorrow. So that is your time. So forecast, weather, and temperature are actually, you can say, different variables, but they are not entities. Why? Because they are written in a sentence. There is nothing in weather that you can extract. So weather means weather. What is the temperature? You don't ask. What is the how do I put? Let's say what is the temperature will not change your answer, right? Let's say if you change weather with temperature, does it change your answer? No, it's still going to give, you're still asking for the details itself. So that is not a parameter. But right now and tomorrow is a parameter, because based on right now, you will get right now current details. If you're asking for tomorrow, you will be getting tomorrow's details. And that is your time. Here you have asked for, let's say, Seattle. So that is the location. So location becomes your second parameter. Like I gave an example, knowledge sharing is the session. So today, let's say, I ask in the group, so Kanika, when is the next knowledge sharing session, right? So in that line, basically, knowledge sharing is the parameter, is the intent. Uh, when is the next session? When is over there becomes your entity. I mean, not when is the entity, but I am asking for the time. When is it? So that time and date becomes your entity, which is something that you need to fulfill, or the user needs to fulfill, right? So that is how the chatbot works. And yeah, so that is nothing but the entity. Now context obviously cannot be explained here, so I'll skip to the next step. So what is context, right? So right now you saw me skip talking about entities and intents, and I was trying to explain you guys in terms of the current knowledge sharing session with the example that has been mentioned here. So now, for example, uh, what I do is, while I'm giving an example, suddenly I say, Savita, what is the weather like today? Right? Out of the blue, I ask Savita a question. So it is out of context. It's like I'm giving a presentation right now. I am talking about entities and intents. So Savita will be like, why is sir asking me the weather details right now? How is it even relevant in the current conversation? Right? So that is context. So the current context is we are talking about presentation intents and entities. So that is a different context, which is talking about weather completely. Right? So that those two are completely different. So now if you see here, let's say the user starts from here, tell me about my checking account. Checking info is the intent. Then the next step is what information do you need for your, so this is mostly the bot responding. What information do you need for your check-in account? Because this is pretty vague, so we need to understand what exactly are they asking for. Is it transaction details, last 30 days transaction details, or current balance, or last 5 transaction details, right? So what is it? So that's why the bot is asking, what are you specifically asking for? The user says my balance. So checking balance becomes another intent, but still the main intent here is checking info, because in the entire conversation we are still talking about checking info, but within that we are talking about checking balance. So it's still the same context is active over here, and I'm still talking about checking info. So here, let's say my balance, your balance is 10,000, sorry, $1,000. This is fine. Now let's say when I immediately ask what are my last 5 transactions, it will automatically tell you that the last 5 transactions are XYZ, and so on, right? Why will it do that instead of asking which transaction is? Because it still knows that you're talking about checking info, unless you suddenly bring up another question saying, I need transaction info of my savings account. Savings account. It will again give you the details, because you have changed the context from checking info to savings. But if you're not bringing savings in that question, it will automatically assume that you're talking about checking info, and instead of asking you the same question again, it will proceed ahead with sharing the conversation details. So that is nothing but context, sticking to the context and asking for information, so that a user doesn't have to keep on asking, sorry, the chatbot doesn't have to keep on asking the same question. Rather, it just asks once, and you don't have to enter the data again. So now just jumping to another this one, before we step into the demo, what are the integration platforms, right? So right now it supports Viper, Google Assistant is there, Slack is there, Skype, Amazon Lex it does, Messenger, you have Twitter, you have Trello, so Telegram, Line, and so on. So these are actually some of the platforms, we call them user channels, where the users are going to actually use the bot, right? So these are some of the platforms where the users come in from, and integrations from Dialogflow are easily provided for all of these platforms. So that is the intention. So now just, I won't let you guys ask me a question right now, because I want you guys to see a small piece of demo. I mean, it's not something that has been, developed for this, but I'm actually showing you guys live. Some of them are demos that we created for our customers. Some of them are live chatbots that are being used in the client system. But let me just run you through it quickly. So let me start with the lead bot first. And remember, guys, please do not take screenshots or anything from this, because this is company's property. So if you see here, we are talking about leads. So leads is an intent. So I'll tell you how is this helping, and I'll tell you what we have done here. Uh, Generally what happens is, if I'm in a marketing team or a sales team, I need to understand how many open leads do I have, or how many closed leads do I have. What are leads over here is nothing but, let's say, in bigger companies, you're obviously talking to at least 50 100 clients every, almost, I won't say every day, but almost over a month. It keeps, they basically lose track of whom to contact again, whom not to contact again, and so on. So they obviously have a Salesforce system setup, or any other CRM system setup, where they record all these details. So once the details have been recorded, I want to check it on the go, instead of logging into Salesforce, or these heavy applications on the phone, which are anyways restrictive at times. What it is, chatbots basically allow ease of use on mobile phones, wherein today, if I just go ahead, I'm available, I'm on the move right now, I want to call a few people, instead of opening my laptop, finding those details, I just enter and ask the chatbot, how many open leads do I have, how many have I closed this month, and so on, right? So if you see forward, I'll explain you a few more things that we have done here. Let me just move a bit further. So you get like a small report saying, how many overall leads, working 13, converted to, and so on. So now I'm asking based on a particular name. So this is Cardinal is nothing but the company name. So if you see here, the actual name is Cardinal Inc, right? But just with the help of Cardinal, it was able to understand that. So this is nothing but, we have done the training in the backend for this, so that it understands that Cardinal means Cardinal Inc. If, let's say, there comes another company whose first name is starting from Cardinal, but let's say it's Cardinal Brad Inc, we will train it accordingly, so that if, let's say, a user types Cardinal, we say, there are two companies with name Cardinal, which starts from Cardinal, which one are you asking about? Then they enter that, then we proceed further, and that is how the conversation is generally built. See, now we are asking for contact information. Let's say I was on the move, I am in a cab, I want to speak to the client. I say, what is the status of Cardinal? Give me the contact details. Let me just call them right away. And we get these details from the backend. So this reduces a user's effort in terms of going to and fro between laptops, systems, uh, and so on, to get that information which they require. And at times softwares are generally glitchy. I'm not saying chatbots aren't, but at least this will help you save a lot of time in the process, right? So if you see here, Jackson controls lead contacts. So it automatically fetched the data of that particular lead and shared it with the user. So this is basically the kind of chatbots that are being built. This is how it is helping them, and these informations are on WhatsApp. Okay, so this is one example. So this one is actually a live example that we have, live chatbot, you can say, which we have built for one of our customers. I think probably you will get to know in a bit which client it is. So what, to give you a gist, what we are doing over here is, so the client basically had an internal portal, or rather they didn't have an internal portal to collect all the complaints that are pouring in. So what happened was, they were like, everything is currently being sent over emails. So it becomes very difficult to track all those emails and all those tickets and so on. So can you help us do the setup in a better way, or something of that sort? So what happened was they themselves did something. So what they did was they moved everything onto their SAP, SAP system, where they were tracking all the tickets. But again, the problem was even when they set up the SAP system, data going into that system was manual. So let's say I, as a user today, I send an email, let's say to Kanika. Kanika then uploads it onto the SAP platform, and after that, mostly it is taken care of from the SAP platform. There is no way for the user, me, to know what is the status of the ticket unless I contact Kanika. Let's say if she's on leave, I don't have any way to get any kind of details. So this is a blocker. And let's say if there are more number of employees, here Kanika is being burdened with me sending her emails and asking her questions. Rather, she can spend her productive time in supporting on multiple other things, right? So the solution was, let's have a chatbot built, let's enable it on WhatsApp where everybody can access it in the team or in the company. Let them post their queries or issues in that, and in turn that chatbot will store the data in SAP platform, and the users can fetch the data to and from the platform accordingly to understand what are the status of the tickets and so on and so forth. So you guys can take a look at this. So we are asking what is the type of complaint, we are asking what is the brand name. So by seeing the biscuit, do you guys know which company this is? This is a quiz for all of you. I'll not proceed unless I get an answer. Anyone? Do you guys know the brand name?
Little Hearts.
Little Hearts is the biscuit. That is
Uh,
good. But what is the brand? Actually,
Britannia.
yeah, correct. So my bad. Little Hearts is actually the brand name. The company's name is Britannia. My bad. But yeah,
Britannia.
both the answers are correct. So Britannia is the company which is using this chatbot right now in their internal team. So there are a couple of hundred users who are actually using this chatbot to report any quality issues that they are facing. So what generally happens is they get carton boxes in which biscuits are filled up, and it is being sent to some of the internal teams for review, tasting, and so on and so forth. So those once the users receive those once the employees receive those cartons, and if they see that there are problems in that carton in terms of either it is torn, either biscuits are torn and split apart, and so on and so forth, in such cases they come to the WhatsApp chatbot, they upload the details, and they raise an issue, so that the users can the other team, the quality team in the backend, can ensure that these kind of issues do not happen again. So if you notice here, finally, so we are asking for images, few more images, or we are asking for a video as well. So the users can actually upload more videos or more, photos, so that, we record them and give it to the, SAP team or the quality team to make sure that they have proof and they understand what is the actual problem. So now a ticket has been created on the SAP platform. Now let's say the user is asking, what is the ticket status? So I enter the number and we get the details. So this is a useful bot. They have almost, once the bot was launched, the graphs were pretty high when we actually set it up. I think in about a month itself, 150 to 200 complaints were raised through the chatbot. Almost 50 to 60 images were uploaded through the chatbot, and so on and so forth. So after that, obviously, we haven't kept track, but this is a chatbot that is being widely used right now within Britannia, at least in the Bangalore branch, right? So this is one such chatbot. So we have, I have a few more demo. I don't want to go through them right now, but the only thing is, I want you guys to understand what all is actually being built out there. So this is something that I showed you is being built. I want you guys to research a bit from your side, because at the end of the day, you will be able to build some of these bots yourself. Even a small idea that you may have, you guys can always share it in the group or with me or Kisle or Pankaj, because at the end of the day, we will try to support you in that. If we like the idea, we will help you build around that idea and see how we can build something like a product out of it, and push it to the outside market and see how they respond to it. And so please be open to sharing your ideas around that, so that we can help you, and you can help us build a product around it. So now, just to start, right? So do you guys want to create a chatbot with me, or do you want to go back and look at this video and create? Because I think I already took almost 1 hour of your time in theory. Again, I'm sorry for that. Let me just go ahead and okay, let's do something like this. I'll just quickly run through a basic example here. And anyways, one thing I'll add to you guys is I've already uploaded the presentation. The entire presentation is here. If you guys want to take a look, the video of the first session is here. Thankfully, the audio quality is good, so you can go ahead and check this. Today's recording, I hope I'm recording this. Yeah. So today's recording also will be available over there, so you guys can anytime go there and check the details, right? So that shouldn't be a problem. So if you see here, I just created an agent, uh, and already there are two intents that have been created. What is an agent? Like I said, it's nothing but a chatbot. So I've named the chatbot as appointment booking for now. I have not given it a name, so the name will be written in the message which I'll show. But yeah, so let's say it says please default fallback intent, and this is a default welcome intent. So what is welcome intent is, as soon as I type hi, what is the message that I get? It says, hello, how can I help you? So if I go here, if you see here, they already have a list of training phrases. So this is the name of the intent. Uh, these are the training phrases. I'm training the chatbot to basically, ensure that it captures that, just ignore to say hi is nothing but an intent over here. I'm referring to this intent. And then we have the responses. So let's say I'm going to delete a few of these. Hi. I save it. Let me just go back. So fallback here is, let's say if I'm typing, what can you do for me? So when I type, what can you do for me? It is basically taking the fallback intent and saying, I must say that again, or it will say something else. So because you need to make sure that your chatbot is trained with something that the chatbot itself is not aware of. So you need to have good responses written. This is a default response. So make sure it is a bit humorous, so that users feel good to interact with the user, rather than feel like chatbot is irritating, right? So now let's say I type hi. It says, hi, my name is Akhil. How can I help you today? right? So as simple as that. So what did I do? Intent is created. They have already trained the bot with high greeting responses. The only thing I needed to do was I needed to go to the responses section, add the answer over here, and that's it, and click on save. Now let's say I'll go and create a new intent, right? So create an intent. I say book appoint appointment, right? So I go to book appointment, training phases. I say add training phase. I want to book an appointment. Sorry. And then I go to add parameters and I enable add responses. So let's say, my bad. Oh, okay. So I'm training the bot with this. So now, obviously, once I say I want to book an appointment, I need what is the appointment for. I want to know what is the time and date at which the appointment is, appointment has to be set. So what I do is I say I want to book an appointment for interview with interview on 29th of um, July 2021 at 4 p.m. So if you notice here, it automatically understood that 29 July 2021 at 4 p.m. is a date and time. So it understood what date and time the user is asking for, right? So if you see, notice here action and parameters, here is nothing but, these are nothing but your entities. If you see the name here, it's written entity value, right? So it took the parameter name as date and time. It says this. So now the question is this parameter important or not? Yes, it is important. So if the user says, I want to book an appointment, I'm not going to say that your appointment has been booked. I have to capture what date and time am I asking for, right? So here, when I mark this, I cannot proceed forward until I answer this question. So now it says define prompt. I go here, I say, uh, what is the uh, on what date, sorry, on what date and time do you want to set the appointment? I close this. So now let's see what happens, right? So let's say I click on save. Oh, sorry. One thing to always remember is you need an answer, right? So you need to make sure that the chatbot is able to respond. Here, now I say your appointment has been booked on so let's see. So I say hi. I say appointment booking. So now notice I have not trained my chatbot this intent with appointment booking. I have just trained it with I want to book an appointment, right? So if I type this, it already understood that I'm talking about booking appointment, right? So this is booking appointment intent. It is asking on what date and time do you want to set the appointment. So how does it know? It knows because I have already trained it with I want to book an appointment. So here NLP is coming into picture and it understands I want to book an appointment is similar to book appointment booking. So probably I might enter a different trickier response and user might not understand. But again, that has to be captured. If that will be captured in your history, and then you can take it from your history and come and add it over here, and that can be easily captured. That shouldn't be a problem. I'll help you with that as well. So now it already understood. Now it is asking for date and time. Now let's say I say 19th July 2021 on 4:05 p.m. So it says your appointment has been booked on. So I've not mentioned the format yet, but it says on date. So now it is at least sending this kind of response. So now let's see. Sorry. I'm just trying something. Sorry, give me 1 second. I type appointment booking. Okay. So if you see here, it took the date time parameter as 27:19 at 17. 17 is nothing but your 5 p.m. basically. So it is taking it in a different format, but